Welcome to a special review series where we're going to review the first season of the Bakugan reboot, Bakugan Battle Planet. Now, this has been a heavily requested review for such a long time. I know a lot of people have been wanting me to review the first season of Bakugan reboot, and I always never saw a reason why though. I already reviewed the second season and the third season already, and I didn't see a reason why we should review the first one, but you guys always wanted to know what my thoughts on it were, so we're going to actually take a look at the first season of Bakugan. Now, keep in mind though, we're going to review this season through the perspective of someone who has not seen the first season. So yeah, you're going to have to bear with me because I do know stuff, but I'm going to pretend I don't know stuff just so we can keep this review fair. So sit back and relax and let's dive into the first episode of Bakugan Battle Planet.
So we kick off this new Bakugan era with Origin of the Species Part 1, starting off with an introduction of a strange event called the Great Collision that leads to the discovery of the Bakugan. And already we're starting off strong with the series with a Bakugan battle. It's nice to know that even after almost a whole decade, Spin Master really knows how to kick off the Bakugan series with a bang. I can tell you this right away though, this isn't a Bakugan Brawl where they play a card game like in the original series. The action scenes and actual gameplay here is its own original style that has nothing to do with the real life game. It follows a certain Pokemon style of action where they call out different attacks and the Bakugan just does it and hope for the best. Like this guy could yell, "Nilius, use water gun," and he'll do it. That's how watered down the action is in this series.
This could change the fate of the world.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Droma!
The drone here is just pushing people out of the way. I guess people that aren't in the fight can't go into the battle area, which I guess that makes sense. But what happens if people are inside buildings or alleys or places where it obstructs their path while the drone is expanding? Do they just get squished to death in a flat, bloody mess? This got dark real fast. So they cut to introducing this series' version of the Battle Brawlers, except in this series, they're a YouTuber group that runs their own channel and have a fan base by posting vlogs and stuff. This is Leah Venegas, voiced by Margarita Valderrama, the director of the group who dreams of becoming an actual Hollywood director, and to be honest, she has the same motherly and uptight personality as Runo, but instead of pigtails, it's a ponytail. This guy here is Winton Styles, voiced by Devin Mack, and he's, I guess, the comic relief, but also the smart guy of the group. You know, the one who gets them out of trouble and stuff. Lightning, voiced by Will Bowes, is a dog that is pretty interesting to include. He does bring a certain uniqueness to the group, I guess, but that's probably me being a dog lover. I just feel bad for Will Bowes being the one to voice Lightning because all he has to do is make dog noises all day. And finally, this series' version of Dan Kouzo, voiced by Jonah Weinberg, the Logan Paul-esque leader of the group who was born on the same day that people thought the Earth was gonna blow up.
I was born on that day. On the very same day as the Great Collision, people thought it might be the end of the world.
Anyway, the reason why these group of 12-year-olds broke into Ground Zero here is because they want to prove that nothing really happened and that it was all some sort of government conspiracy or something. You know, I feel like this is supposed to be a rib at actual YouTube content creators that commit crimes for views and clout. I say, if you guys are going to commit trespass, don't live stream it. Also, for some Great Collision this size, it left a pretty small crater. It almost looked like it could be the size of China, but left a hole the size of Rhode Island. But it turns out this was a ruse to surprise Dan for his birthday. Woo! But stuff gets weird fast, time and machines stop, and the Great Collision happens again, and the awesome ones are killed. Nah, I'm kidding. They're fine and...
Let's Bakugan. What did you say?
Was that lightning?
Yes, Lightning definitely has the smooth melodic sound of a woman. Honestly, the dog is the last person I expect to make a noise like that. If anything, I'd turn to Leah right there. Dan then discovers Bakugan drenched in hot goo, and I guess the goo is laced with LSD or something, which makes me wonder what they're teaching kids these days. So Dan drops his marble and... But Dan and the others meet Dragonoid, voiced by Jason DeLine, who returns to the role after almost 10 years away. Jason honestly made the role in the previous series, and it's amazing that Spin Master got him to come back to voice this role in the reboot. Dragonoid and the Bakugan are all rendered CG instead of hand-drawn in this series, and they honestly look fabulous! We move on to part 2, and the awesome ones are filming battle videos with all the Bakugan they found, and they even give us a crash course about how the fights are going to be conducted in the series. With the awesome ones posting their findings all over the internet on YouTube, I guess just immediately they become YouTube celebrities with millions of subscribers and building an online Bakugan community. This is a thing I really like about what they're doing with this series. It's taking a more modern approach to this franchise. Practically everything revolves around the internet, and content creation on YouTube has become very popular, and that's pretty much what kids are into nowadays. Just watching YouTube content creators doing stuff and being influencers. And you know what, this is definitely reflective of the marketing strategy that Spin Master has adopted to sell the real-life toys.
Funny thing was, no adults could activate them.
Pay attention to this detail because this is important later on. So we're back to this scenario from the very beginning where Dan is fighting Masquerade in Kirito's jacket here, Magnus, voiced by Julius Cho. The first real Bakugan battle that they showed to introduce fans to the new series, and already it looks glorious. Definitely do like how Magnus has the advantage because he watched all of Dan's moves online, but when Dan is in trouble, the other awesome brothers show up, only now for some reason, seriously, where were your lazy asses? Leah, for some reason, has a pony instead of a metal monkey now. And what the hell is this? Why is Lightning exposing his butthole like that? Come on, Lightning, you gotta keep it sorta PG.
Viewers, you're recording me?
This is just really funny irony about Magnus. He literally went up to a 12-year-old kid and picked a fight with him right in broad daylight and not expect someone to be recording him while he's sicking his two-headed hell beast onto a giant red dragon? Like, it just doesn't work like that. If it's not Leah that is recording this, then someone else is.
How old are you? Can you tell us who you're wearing today?
I never understood what this line meant.
Can you tell us who you're wearing today?
I think Margarita meant to say what you're wearing today, and the voice director just shrugged and left it in. Unless it was intentional and it's just some phrase I've just never heard of, I don't really know. So Magnus brings out Indiana Jones's worst fear and also my worst fear to fight Winton, Leah, and Lightning. Meanwhile, Drago is just taking a nap in the corner, but Dan and the awesome ones manage to make a comeback and beat Magnus, and we get introduced to, I guess, the villain team for the series. Even though they don't reveal their names in this episode, I only know them from the trading cards that were released. I bought the trading cards before I started watching the show. So we got China Riot with a very unrealistic hair design voiced by Josette Jorge. I feel bad for anyone that attempts to cosplay her with the unfortunate name. A, who seems like a crazy type voiced by Amos Crawley, and Strata, voiced by Dan Petranajevac. Okay, remember before when they said adults can't use Bakugan? Well, I guess this guy just ignores that rule then. Though, to be fair, we don't see him holding a Bakugan or anything. He's just implying that he's going to get involved, except I don't know how you expect to take on Titan-sized fighting creatures that could probably maul you into blueberry pudding. These guys were apparently sent by a higher power to scout the awesome ones for recruitment, and Magnus makes a speech about disrupting fate or something. Seems more like end of the world stuff than I let on, huh? They do a ninja vanish with one last threat to get the awesome ones to stop posting videos, and we get our usual mystery guy at the end, Sir Evil Von Bad Guy, I presume.
So that was Battle Planet Episode 1. Let me know what your rating of the show was in the comments down below using these ratings right here. Baku-tastic, Baku good, Baku evil in the middle, Baku downer, and Lightning's butthole.
The very first episode of Battle Planet gives a pretty good introduction into this new generation of Bakugan. The action scenes are very cool to watch, the main characters immediately come off as great, and the presentation is overall excellent. That was a great first impression for new and old fans of the franchise. The show really does seem more focused on selling actual toys instead of having any kind of gameplay plot in mind, but hey, we get what we get, right? The show really has very anime-influenced themes, and it's just so crazy, wild, and ridiculous that this is obviously a show that has a target audience of young kids. But it was so funny and entertaining to watch in such a weird way. So I'll give this a Baku-tastic. Thank you for watching this review of Battle Planet. Be sure to press the like button and give us a subscribe for more awesome Bakugan content. I've been Haru Ren. Thank God for Rapid Fire. Bye.